Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
A head-on collision. One person is dead and 3 are in the hospital after a crash in Johnston County. What we're learning from state troopers.
And take a look at the road temperatures as you're heading out the door. It's below freezing, but I'm going to walk you through a warm-up, and I'll show you when our overnight lows will finally come above freezing.
Some ice is sticking around this morning. This is a live look right now. I-40 in Raleigh via the WRAL Storm Tracker. We'll be giving you a look at those icy roads in some places that are forcing schools to switch schedules for a 4th day now this week. It's because those temperatures staying below freezing once again as we get our Friday started. At least that's a bright spot. Good morning to you. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Great to have you with us. Kiddos, if you're up this early, you're going back to school today. Many schools have changed their schedules for today, with icy spots still a concern on the roads. Wake County schools will begin on a 2-hour delay. And you can see the map on your screen now. Counties in yellow are on a 2-hour delay. Counties in red are closed, and green will be remote learning.
Elizabeth Gardner over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. A clean street. This wasn't the case all week long as we look at Fayetteville Street right now.
It looks great right now. I mean, even the sidewalks are clear. You know, we've had a couple of milder afternoons, and that's really done a good job of melting things. Of course, this is a look from our Jimmy V camera. It is cold, though. Our temperature right now, 25 degrees. We don't have much of a wind chill. So a couple of things. Obviously, that's going to freeze anything that might be left. And the conditions are going to be much different the farther east you go. You notice Wayne County, Johnston County schools are closed. Those are areas that had a little more snow than we did, say, in Wake County. Temperatures heading out the door as the kids are heading out. It's going to be really cold, so you're going to need to bundle them up. 22 Southern Pines, 24 Rocky Mount, 16 in Roxborough, but we don't have any wind chill, so that's definitely a great thing. And look at how much warmer we are than we were yesterday, anywhere from 5 to almost 15 degrees warmer. So starting to see that warm up hour by hour. We do climb into the 40s this afternoon, and then a huge warm up coming as we get into next week. I'll explain the changes.
They will be welcome. Thanks, Elizabeth. That lingering ice may be the reason a lot of schools are closed or delayed this morning. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione is in the WRAL Storm Tracker for us this morning. And Anthony, are you seeing any ice out there near you right yet?
Jeff, at the moment, I'm going to take you over here to I-40 where you can take a look. And at the moment, we're looking really, really good here on these main roads. We have actually not seen any ice, but I will say we're going to head here into some of the neighborhoods, some of the local schools just around the area to get an idea of kind of what they're seeing, what we potentially could still be seeing as far as some of those problem spots are concerned. Our temperature right now here on the car, 29 degrees, so it is definitely cold enough for some lingering ice, and that's something we'll watch for. But at the moment here, we're looking pretty good on I-40. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione for WRAL News, live here on I-40.
Breaking news, one person is dead and 3 others are hurt after a head-on collision in Johnston County. It happened on NC 27 near Benson just after 12:15 this morning. Nick Perlin drove there in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker and got an update from Highway Patrol.
Benton police and state troopers were busy here on NC 27 cleaning up a wreck that left one man dead. I want to show you some video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. This is from around 2 this morning, and you can see the engine of this white car was completely knocked out of the car because of this head-on collision. This is what we know. We know the white car was traveling east on NC 27. This red pickup truck you see was traveling west on NC 27. They collided. The white car spun off the road and hit a fence. The red car flipped over and ended up on the other side of the road. We know the driver of the white car is a 33-year-old man. We're told he sadly died. The passenger of that car was a woman. She was taken to the hospital. Now in the red truck, the driver and the passenger were both taken to the hospital. We're told all 3 are expected to be okay. But at this point in time, we're working with the state troopers to find out what exactly happened. We do know that they do suspect both drivers were impaired. We're going to continue to get more information, and as we learn new details, we'll bring it to you right here on WRAL. In Benson, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
We're also working to learn why there was a large police presence in Fayetteville this morning. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker captured this video around 1 a.m. on Cliffdale Road near South Riley Road. Police tape surrounded a gray Mercedes as officers investigated. We've reached out to Fayetteville police and we're waiting to hear back.
This morning, President Donald Trump will visit Western North Carolina. He will make several stops in areas hardest hit by Hurricane Helene. Trump is expected to arrive by late morning. He will hold a meet and greet with Republican leaders at the airport, then make a brief visit to an undisclosed location nearby. The president is expected to leave by mid-afternoon for a flight to Los Angeles. Stay with WRAL throughout the day for updates on the president's visit. Tune into our newscast from 4 to 7:30 this evening.
Today marks 1 week since the deadly shooting inside a North Hills restaurant. Raleigh police say the restaurant's head chef, George Cullum, shot and killed server Jonathan Schaefer. Only on WRAL, we are hearing from a Coquette employee who was at work when that confrontation happened. Chu Reno tells us she believes Cullum targeted Schaefer over a dispute about a woman.
And that's the really sad thing about it, is that it should never get to that point over someone. He didn't try to kill anybody else in the restaurant because he most definitely could have.
Reno tells employees who were inside Coquette are still processing what they experienced there. Now, she says that she will remember Schaefer as a good person and a friend.
We're learning more about the Raleigh police officer who was shot Tuesday. Officer Max Gillick remains in critical condition this morning. He is a first-class officer, the Army veteran who joined the department a little over 2 years ago. Police say Gillick was wounded Tuesday by 70-year-old Antonio Rodriguez, who died in the shootout. They say Rodriguez killed his ex-wife's boyfriend before police got there on the scene.
Going from the military to law enforcement, that's a selfless decision and life decisions he's making. So yeah, I'd say he's very selfless and very dedicated to the community.
His friends and family told WRAL the outpouring of support has meant the world to them and to other Raleigh officers. Cards and well wishes can be sent to the Raleigh Police Department on 6 Forks Road.
Covering Wake County, today Amgen will celebrate the opening of its new biomanufacturing facility in Holly Springs. It's part of a $1 billion investment the company made in the area, adding hundreds of jobs. The new facility was built at Camp Helix, Holly Springs, a growing hub for life sciences companies in North Carolina. Amgen will also break ground on a new expansion today.
President Trump is pushing for federal recognition of the Lumbee tribe. He signed a memorandum yesterday directing the Secretary of the Interior to come up with a plan to give the Lumbee tribe full federal recognition. Special benefits and protections would come with that, and that would go through Congress or through other available mechanisms. The chairman of the Lumbee tribe is expressing appreciation for the president. He says President Trump is the first president to sign such a memorandum declaring full federal recognition for the Lumbee tribe as official policy of the U.S. government, and to lay the groundwork for what the Lumbee have been fighting toward for more than 100 years. The House of Representatives has passed a bill to grant federal recognition many times before, and the Senate has always shot it down. Congressman David Rouser said, denied the services of other federally recognized tribes for decades. Congress can correct this by passing my bill and sending it to the president's desk to become law. Now, the move doesn't guarantee an easy path ahead. Lawmakers are lobbied by other tribes who question the Lumbee's tribal ancestry.
A wildfire burning in northern Los Angeles County has grown past 10,000 acres now. The Hughes fire broke out Wednesday morning. Evacuation orders were lifted yesterday as firefighters slowed the spread. The fire is around 25% contained right now. Schools in the area will reopen today. California lawmakers approved a $2.5 billion relief package yesterday to help the state recover from recent wildfires.
We are working to learn why people trying to get to the emergency department at Rex Hospital in Holly Springs were turned away last night. We're told there was a security threat shortly after 7 p.m. Hospital officials did not specify what happened, but the all clear was given. Holly Springs police are investigating.
This morning, you can get your kids some gently used clothing, books, or toys at the Kids Exchange Consignment Sale. Doors open at 9 a.m. and admission is free today. The sale continues tomorrow and Sunday, which is half price day Sunday. We suggest heading to the Jim Graham building early so you can get your hands on the best items first. This is the largest consignment sale in the state, and it helps tens of thousands of families who want to be smart with their finances.
Possible ceasefire talks. The call between Trump and Putin aimed at ending the war in Ukraine and what Trump is doing now to try and stop Russia's attacks.
Plus, a snowstorm love story. Hear from a couple who was snowed in during that massive storm 25 years ago this weekend, and they are still together today.
And you're taking a live look at North Hills this morning. It is cold now, but a weekend warm-up is on the way. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will walk us through it.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
4:43 on another cold start. We're starting off in the 20s. At least we don't have any teens. Yesterday, we were solidly in the mid-teens. So almost 10 degrees warmer this morning. 24 in Wilson, 25 in Durham, 27 in Fayetteville. It's still a really dry air mass, so I wouldn't expect that you have a lot of frost on the windshields to have to scrape off. But you definitely want to get everybody bundled up. Just like yesterday, we'll have some high, thin cloud cover, but we do stay dry. And we continue our warming trend. Yesterday, our high temperature was about 36, 37. And for today, we're going to climb it into the mid-40s, and we'll continue that warming trend. But still, as you're walking the dog this morning, it is chilly. I'll show you what is changing with our pattern to bring us some warmer temperatures and just how much warmer it'll be next week.
President Donald Trump is expected to make a phone call to Russian President Vladimir Putin within the next few days. This comes as Trump is putting economic pressure on Russia to try to end the fighting in Ukraine. Trump told Putin on social media to reach a deal with Ukraine or face more sanctions. It didn't faze the Kremlin, though, as it stepped up attacks last night. Purdue Pharma and its owners have reached a new opioid settlement to resolve thousands of lawsuits. Several state attorneys general announced a $7.4 billion national settlement. The lawsuit alleged OxyContin pain medication caused a nationwide opioid addiction crisis. Under this new deal, the owners do not receive immunity from potential future opioid lawsuits. Individual victims who don't join this settlement could pursue their own lawsuits against the company.
We typically don't get a whole lot of snow in the Triangle, but this time 25 years ago, our area got a record 23 inches of snow. The snow started falling January 24th and kept falling into the next day. The storm knocked out power to more than 100,000 homes and businesses. Schools and businesses were shut down for more than a week as the area tried to dig out. Now, people who experienced that epic snow will never forget it. One Durham couple credits the snowstorm for sparking their love story. Back in January of 2000, Maggie and Mike Humble had not yet met, but they lived in the same condo building. After the storm, Maggie brushed the snow off a few cars, including Mike's. He found out from other neighbors it was her and wanted to say thank you. So Mike baked some homemade cinnamon rolls and knocked on her door. They chatted for hours that day, learning they had much in common.
And we were snowed in for over 4 days. And so we would invite each other to dinner and we'd talk all night. And there was, of course, basketball did not stop in the snow, which is fabulous. So we watched the ball game on that Saturday. And Mike invited me to brunch one morning. And so it was just
invited me to dinner one night.
Yeah, but it was just like these 5 or 6 days in a row where you could get out, but it was risky. So you tried not to get out, But we had this concentrated time to get to know each other, which was fabulous.
8 months later, they were engaged, and 6 months later, they were married. They love it whenever it snows, and every year, the Humbles mark the day they met with cinnamon rolls. It's like their own little Hallmark movie. So yeah, the big snow of 2000, I moved to North Carolina a few years after that, so I missed it. But I know someone who remembers that snow. Elizabeth, you must have been like, it was a dream for you.
It was a dream, absolutely.
I know you loved it.
I had maybe 10-ish years before lived out in Lake Tahoe, where we got 5 feet in one storm. So this was almost 2 feet, and it was fabulous. I had 4-wheel drive. I was driving all around. I was busy here at work, so I didn't have time to stock up on the bread and milk. So a couple days later, I wheel up in front of the grocery store. and it was closed. I was like, what is this? It was something else. Well, I'll tell some more stories about it later on. I could stand here and spend my entire weathercast talking about it, but we won't do that. It is 25 degrees right now, or 2.14, so it's nice and dry. Temperatures climb above freezing around 10 o'clock. In the last few afternoons, it's been closer to lunchtime before we've hit freezing. 22 Southern Pines, 24 Rocky Mount, 16 in Roxborough. So it's a cold start, but temperatures in a lot of places are around 10 degrees warmer than they were yesterday. So we're getting there. It'll be warmer this afternoon too. About the same kind of cloud cover, those high thin clouds, but temperatures in the mid 40s for Raleigh, Durham, and Fayetteville. So it'll be fine for getting outside, sweater, that kind of thing. And over the weekend, we continue our warming trend. We do have another cold night in store tonight though. 19 Southern Pines, 20 Rocky Mount, 20 in Durham, 17 in Roxborough. But even our overnight lows will start to climb. So, hey, does it feel like it's been a cold winter? Absolutely. For January, we're averaging the highs and the lows. We are 5.5 degrees below normal. For the winter overall, we're a little over a degree. Did I say inches? I'm so used to inches from snow. 5.5 degrees. And then for the winter, we're about a degree or so below normal. But January has been well below normal. The blue shaded area is where temperatures are below normal. We will continue to see that for today and into the weekend. But watch what happens as we get into next week. We start to see the yellow color contours sliding on in by Wednesday and Thursday as our temperatures climb well above normal. So looking at 47 on Saturday, then we're in the 50s. And yep, we were able to bump that Wednesday up to 63 degrees. So we do typically have some warm winter days. In January, we average about 7 or 8 days in the 60s. We're not going to see that this year, but we even averaged 2 days in the 70s. I don't think we're going to see that this year either. This is a look at that 7-day forecast. It's quiet in terms of precipitation with a small chance of a sprinkle on Monday. We'll talk a little bit more about that and how we're looking for our snow for this year coming up.
We'll just take one in the 60s, one at a time. It's coming next Wednesday.
Can't wait.
Yeah. New footage reveals a hint as to who is breaking into pro athletes' homes during their games. The lead investigators are following right now.
And turtles in Florida are not used to this cold. How they're getting some help warming up. Welcome back. Here's a live look at Hay Street in Fayetteville, and you can see the snow still clinging to the grassy areas there, maybe some of the shady spots, and not quite melting yet. But with our temperatures going up above freezing today, we'll keep working on that melting. Well, millions of cars in the U.S. are being driven every day despite having dangerous defects. A new report shows a growing number of those defects aren't being fixed by owners, even though repairs are typically free. 5 on your side's Keely Arthur shows us how big of a problem this is in our area.
1 out of every 5 cars has a recall that hasn't been fixed. That's more than 58 million cars, trucks, and SUVs nationwide with a key safety system that is at risk of failing when your family needs it most. Zooming into Raleigh, Durham, and Fayetteville, more than 1 million vehicles have at least one open recall. That's the 15th highest among metros in the country. All of this data comes from Carfax. And they, of course, have a free app you can download that will show you any current recalls and alert you to new ones. Next, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration also has an app that will do the same. Or you can go to their website, enter your VIN, and see the recalls that way. And there's good reason to make these repairs as soon as you can. According to the North Carolina Department of Justice, recall repairs are usually covered for cars less than 10 years old. But if the car is older than that, you could be paying out of pocket. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
This new body cam footage shows the men police believe broke into the home of NFL star quarterback Joe Burrow. Now, they perform a stop here, and it shows them pulling him over, and then it shows the people who may have robbed Cincinnati Bengals player last month. You see the police, they pulled over for that traffic stop. Officers searched the vehicle. They smell pot there, so they asked to search it. They pull out that That LSU shirt, that's where Burrow went to college. The 4 men are Chilean nationals. They face charges related to robbing multi-million-dollar homes of pro athletes who were playing games on the road at the time. Police believe they are tied to a criminal ring involving other burglaries.
The city of Raleigh wants your input on ways to improve pedestrian safety downtown. They've started the Glenwood South Safety Pilot Survey. Leaders are looking to improve the area of Glenwood Avenue to North Street and Johnston Street areas. That survey will be open until February 28th. You can find it on the city's website.
With the cold in the south, these turtles are trying to get some warmth. They are now in the care of a Marine Institute in Panama City, Florida. The nonprofit is taking care of more than 150 cold-stunned turtles. Staff and volunteers are trying to get them into warmer water. In order to prevent the shock, the turtles can only be warmed up by 3 to 5 degrees each day. Slowly it goes.
Some school systems are delayed this morning. Others are closed again today, and the WRAL Storms Tracker is giving us a look at why. This is a live look at 540, where we're seeing slick spots after more refreezing this morning.
Also, a man is dead. 3 others are hurt after a head-on crash in Johnston County. What we have learned about that scene from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
Only on WRAL, a server at the North Hills restaurant where a chef shot and killed a coworker shares her story, what she saw, and how she's remembering the man who died.